All right, so ever since I really started getting into coffee makers, I really wanted a portable espresso machine that you could kind of take with you, but that also heats up the water. Because one of the biggest issues with most travel espresso machines is that you have to boil your water, which means that it's not really a travel coffee maker because you have to find somewhere to heat up that water. Well, Outin gave me this espresso machine and it promises to do just that, which fixes a lot of things. So in this video, I'm going to tell you everything that I know about it. I'm going to tell you what it is. I'm going to show you how to use it, but also what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and exactly who it's for after a couple of months of testing this thing. So let's get right into it. All right, so this is the Outin Nano Espresso Machine. Now, there are a couple different things we should talk about. So up top is where you basically put in your water. You can see there's different fill lines there. 70 milliliters is kind of right below that max line. I have put it in a little bit higher than that, up to that max line, and made some good shots. You can go down to 30 milliliters. And so this is where you put it in. And you can see there's a little filter right there. And it brings the water down in to heat it in this chamber here. Down below here, you have a handy dandy little cup, and it also makes it so that water and stuff doesn't go away. And then right here, you can unscrew this. I personally use the portafilter for using your own ground coffee, but it does come with another little canister to use like Nespresso style pods. And then right here you can see basically that's kind of your like little puncture thing. When it pressurizes, obviously this isn't going to puncture. It's more for like the Nespresso capsules. And then of course on the inside, this is where you put your coffee. Here in a minute, I'm actually going to make an espresso shot and show you guys exactly how to use all this. But these are all of your different components. Basically you just fill it up, screw it on, and then you can basically just, you know, make your espresso right into there. Now, as for specifications, if you want it to heat your own water, it makes about 5 espresso shots on a single charge. However, if you heat up your coffee without it, without the actual heating elements or anything like that, you can make up to 200 shots. And I have to say, it holds up to around there. I've been pretty impressed with that, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Now, I like to keep my sticker on here. Basically, you press this button twice to heat and extract. So that's where it heats your own water. And then if you double press, you can extract directly. So that's for people like me that like to, you know, heat up the water ahead of time. And then press once to stop. So if you want it to stop for some reason, there is like a little emergency off button. You just press it once while it is brewing and it'll stop it. And as for sizing, you can see it isn't huge, but it definitely isn't small by any means. It's something you can throw into your pack. And with that said, let's go ahead and brew a shot. Now I'm gonna brew a shot just using heated up water. It takes about 3 minutes to boil it, and it does work, but I'm just gonna go ahead and put boiling water in there so you guys can get an idea of how it all works. So here is some kind of medium fine coarse ground coffee. So let's go ahead and pull everything apart again, and I'll show you how to fill that. Now, of course, I'm probably gonna make a mess on my desk here, but I guess that's okay. It's for science. All right. So this is a scoop specifically from Outin that came with it, and it's the right size basically to put all of this in. So you're going to take some coffee, you're going to take it in there, and then tamp it down a little bit. And then you want to make sure that you clean off this edge. As you can see, I have it kind of up there at the top. It is a little messy, and I've found that honestly that has been pretty okay. So we just put that little cap right on there. See? Now it's its own little pod. We put it up here, and then just like that. Now in this process, I actually like to put this kind of little cut back on it, just so I don't have to worry about it. And then what we have here is some boiled water. I just boiled this. It should, and then I kind of, you know, preset it for heat. And we're gonna go ahead and pour it up to the slide, where I've never done this on camera. So this is kind of weird. And as you can see, I put it up to about that 70 milliliter line. And so this is boiled water. And again, I'm not doing this where it heats its own water. It takes about 200 seconds or so to do that, which is a little while, but if you think about all the other things you have to do, in the meantime, it can kind of boil while you're working on other stuff. All right, and now I have here a clear glass, so I am going to do that. I'm gonna remind myself exactly how many times I need to press. So this is the double press to extract directly. So I'm gonna go that, and you can hear. Oh, I just realized it's probably because I have it up directly. So you can see it is extracting. This is probably a terrible angle for you guys, but you'll get the idea when it's done. And there it is done. And as you can see, the shot, it does have the crema on top. And we're gonna get into how forgiving it is, but you can see it made a really good shot. Man, I really should not have done this as a top angle, but I don't have any other way to shoot this. But that is a good shot, and let's go ahead and talk about the things that I do like and don't like about this coffee maker. All right, so now that we know what the espresso machine is and how to use it, let's talk about the things that I like about it, and then we'll jump into the things that I don't like about it, but stay tuned for that. Of course, the first thing that I really like about this espresso machine comes down to the fact that it's fully battery operated, rechargeable battery. So let's get into that. So most travel coffee makers or espresso makers like this are actually manually operated. There's a little pump on the side that you kind of pump with your finger, maybe on the back here, and that builds up the pressure manually. However, this being battery operated, it builds up the pressure for you, not only heats it up for you, but builds up the pressure for you. And I really like that because not every coffee maker is that way in the travel side of things, and I really like that. The next thing is it's still on the battery operated side of things is honestly its battery life has been pretty impressive. Now the battery life on this is pretty impressive. Now it's not impressive, say, if you have it heated up for you every single time. It only makes about 5 shots if that is something that sounds like you. However, if you boil the water ahead of time, say you use this in your own kitchen instead of a standard kind of countertop espresso machine, it can make up to 200 espresso shots just by, kind of causing the pressure, not doing the heating element portion of it. And that is impressive. So this can actually replace a countertop Nespresso machine. I actually have an espresso machine I'm thinking about getting rid of because I prefer to use this right here. So you can throw it into the cabinet. It doesn't sit on your countertop, and that's really nice. Number 3 thing that I really like, it's pretty forgiving when it comes to like coffee grind size. Now this is the coffee that I primarily use. This is actually going through a Mr. Coffee grinder. Now it's a burr grinder, of course, but it's not super nice. So the grinds are not super consistent or anything like that. And this is a medium kind of fine coffee. Normally you want a super fine coffee for espresso. However, I use this for my AeroPress as well, which is also my other coffee maker that I primarily use. And I don't really want to change up the coffee grinds depending on the coffee maker I use. So I just use this and it still makes a really, really good shot. Now, the 4th thing that I really like about it is that you can use your own coffee grind. Now, of course, this little unit comes with both the ability to use Nespresso pods, or you can use your own coffee grinds. I really, really do like that because it comes with both options in the box, and I appreciate that because I personally prefer going cheaper and using my own coffee grinds instead of using an Nespresso pod, which is considerably more expensive. But I like that it comes with both options for whatever people want to use. And then the last thing is, honestly, it's build quality. As you can see, I mean, this is plastic, but it is a really hard plastic. It keeps really clean. All the components, even the electronics in it right there, are super high end, and I have no complaints. This is something I can drop and I don't have to worry about. The metal in there feels really, really nice. All the components feel really stout, and I have no complaints on build quality. I am not worried about this thing breaking or getting damaged if I throw it in my backpack or any of that kind of stuff. It is super impressive. I have no complaints when it comes to build quality. All right, so we talked about all the things that I do like, but of course it's important to know what I didn't like about this portable espresso machine. So let's get into that now. Now, the first thing that I really, really wish it had is 2 portafilters. Why is that? Let's get into it. Now, when you take this off, unscrew it, you can see your little portafilter in there. I wish there were 2 of these. Why is that? Because normal espresso drinks require 2 shots, and this makes 1 shot at a time. As you can see, it doesn't have a massive capacity in there. And the bummer with that is you have to then take all of this apart after your first shot. You have to take it all apart, you have to clean it all out, and then you have to put new coffee in there, tamp it down, put it all together. It's not that bad when you're doing one shot, but if you're wanting to make a latte with a double shot, it's a whole process to be able to do that. I wish you could set it all up ahead of time so that you can make 2 shots pretty quickly instead of being like 20 seconds. It's going to take a couple minutes to make sure that you are getting your shot set up correctly. So I wish it came with 2 portafilters when it comes to the pre-ground coffee. And then the only other thing that I didn't super like about it is the cleanup process. I think it's important to have coffee makers that are easy to clean up, so let's talk more about that. Now, this is an issue with most espresso machines, especially in the travel space, is there's just a lot of different components, and when you come through here and you take this all apart, and then there's coffee on the inside right there, this actually doesn't even like kick out into your garbage if you just like shake it or like tamp it or anything like that. And so it's kind of annoying to do cleanup. Most of the time you end up just washing most of it down the sink and down the drain. And so I wish it was a little bit easier to clean up. I don't know how they would do that with this machine, but it's something I wish was the case. It's just easier cleanup, but it's something you just kind of live with portable coffee machines. And who is this for? If you're somebody that wants to make espresso on the go, I have yet to find a better option than this. I have tried some competitors, and I have to say, just being able to heat up your own water, whether you need to do it or not, is really nice, because then you can just take some ground coffee with you wherever you go, and you can make coffee wherever you need. You don't have to find a hot plate, you don't have to find a stove. It really, really is impressive. But of course, if you're worried about a messy cleanup experience and you really need that double shot, this may not be a great solution for you. It is also a little bit heavier than I would prefer. It's something that is going to weigh down your backpack if it's something like you're taking hiking. If you're looking for a good portable espresso machine, I have yet to find a better option. So if you found this review in any way helpful, make sure to subscribe or like this video. I do also have a paid link down in the description and the top comment that I appreciate you guys using. I do also have a discount code that you can find below. I'll see you guys next time.